Before we get started, a quick word from our sponsor, Community Financial's President CEO Tansley Stern podcast, Despite Impossible. Now on to the show. Studio Lounge interviews at Emerge, brought to you by Eltropy. Mike Lawson here with CU Broadcast. Welcome back to our continued coverage of the 2025 Eltropy Emerge conference here in beautiful San Francisco. And in the Studio Lounge, we have Mr. Michael Kadel from OneAccord. Michael, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great.
All the cool guys are named Michael. Welcome.
I know, right?
How are you, sir?
I'm good.
How is the conference going for you? Any highlights to share?
The conference is great. A lot of good insights on digital transformation.
I bet.
I used to be an employee of Eltropy. I used to be on the executive team working on talent development, and now I'm doing my own thing on strategic planning. It's really great to come up and visit some of my colleagues.
Right on.
And just really a great conference.
So are you still kind of semi-working with Eltropy? How is that relationship? Or obviously you're doing your own thing, but I'm sure there's still some sort of tie there?
There is. There's a strong tie.
Okay.
I will always be a big fan of Eltropy, and since I left the employee team, I'm still a big fan of Eltropy based upon leveraging.
It's hard not to be.
Right?
You know?
With Ashish and team, it's really hard not to be.
Yeah.
But leveraging their digital transformation technology into credit unions, in the credit union space, is huge. And being able to really do what I do, which is strategic planning, looking at the future, helping a credit union get from point A to point B from a digital transformation, and really helping their members not only survive, but really thrive.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so tell me a little bit. I mean, where do we go find OneAccord? And
sure.
Tell me some of the other services that you guys offer.
So OneAccord has been around for 25 years.
Oh my gosh!
So we are based in the Crooklyn, Washington area near Seattle, where we cover
beautiful part of the country,
all across the globe. So we are primarily in the Pacific Northwest, but we have clients all over the country.
Okay.
We go into a credit union and provide strategic planning and also heavy lift on succession planning. If you look at the top 3 pain points that credit unions are struggling with, it's succession. How can we not only develop talent, but how do we keep the talent that we have and grow them? Digital transformation, which plays right into Eltropy. And the third really is really helping a credit union focus on growth. You know, this conference, as you know, has been focused on growth. How do we retain members? But more importantly, how do we retain them? How do we empower the new members coming into the ethosphere? And how can Eltropy leverage those?
Gotcha. So what are some of the trends that you're seeing out there as far as maybe growth or the war for talent or any of the other items that you mentioned? What's the top trend out there that credit should need to be aware of and to address?
Well, I think the top is to not only prepare for the future, but leverage the future, if that makes sense.
What do you mean leveraging the future?
Leveraging the future means to leveraging technology.
Okay.
Not only AI is a big component of it, but look outside the eye of how we can leverage technology to manage data, how to leverage that data for our members and for the future in terms of leadership teams, and how do we prepare our leaders for tomorrow, and that comes into succession planning. You know, I delivered a keynote a couple weeks ago to an HR network, and I talked about what specific core competencies are needed for the leaders, not just for today, but how can we start today to prepare for those core competencies that are so essential for tomorrow?
Yep.
So
can you share a couple of those?
So one of them is innovation.
What we should look for as far as a leader?
Continue to innovate.
Yeah.
You know, being able to think outside the box, be agile, being able to leverage technology, but being like Steve Jobs used to say, not only to help the members succeed, but anticipate their needs before they come to you.
Yeah.
And being innovative is you've got to be continuing to do that. And the second thing is always continual learning. You know, don't be sustained about the knowledge level you have, and Michael Dell, if I can quote him, you should never be the smartest person in the room. If you are, you're going to find it different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you need to be really leveraging your experience and always be a continual learner. So those are the two.
Well, that comes first full circle around to what Eltropy is doing, especially the proactive part, because I've had a number of interviews today and yesterday about how many of their offerings are helping credit unions be more proactive. For collections, just an example. What they're offering allows credit unions to be more proactive with their members to keep They can help them when they get into a jam, of course, but in many instances, they can help them keep them from getting into that jam.
Yes.
So, which is huge, which is a big loyalty driver, trust driver, that type of stuff. 100%. So that kind of brings it around full circle, how the data, how the AI, how all this stuff is helping organizations, credit unions in this case, be way more proactive and meeting their members' needs.
100%.
So yeah.
And being proactive is the key. Being able to
you have to be
to project what the members are doing and acting.
Yeah.
What behaviors you're going to be able to articulate and incorporate those behaviors into the mindset of the leaders of tomorrow and the leaders of the credit union, so they can be ready for that.
Yeah. So I'm sure you're here networking and talking to people and helping people. What do you want to take away from this conference? What are you looking for to take away?
Well, I want to take away a couple things. One is, how can I leverage Eltropy in advancing the credit union movement? And what I mean by that is having credit unions understanding what the value of what Eltropy can bring, but using those tools to their advantage, and using those tools so their members can see the impact. Not just the talent and the people inside the credit union, but the members. At the end of the day, that's what the movement is all about. Helping the underserved, helping those people that don't have access to financial services as much as they should be, based upon moving the needle. And I think the second thing is collaboration, is building networks and building relationships. Banking and credit unions are all about building relationships and supporting the communities that they serve, and building their network around the communities so they have an impact in the communities. So.
And we saw several examples of that just on stage just a half hour ago.
Oh my gosh, we did.
Incredible stories.
Oh yeah. And
that's, go ahead.
I was just saying, I'm a mission-driven person. That's why I love the credit union so much. I can't think of more organizations that have a mission-driven component of what they do and how they drive their revenue.
And that's one of the great things that I really enjoy about Eltropy's Emerge conference. They really put credit unions, based on our audience, they put credit unions really on the front burner. They really put them front and center on stage so they can share their stories, which gets the audience, all the people, the attendees, gets their wheels turning. Like, oh, how can we adopt something like that? So really enjoy that about what Eltropy does here at Emerge. So
it's exciting times. So I think we're on the pivot to something great. And I think 2025, they say, is thrive in 2025, and right here is where it starts.
Indeed. Well said, sir. Well said. All right. Anything else to add before I let you go the rest of the day?
Thank you for this opportunity, and we are excited to see for what this next day and a half brings for all of us.
I think so, too. Yeah, more exciting stuff on tap. Good stuff. All right, Michael, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Mike. Take care.
Keep up the good work there at OneAccord. Is there a URL or OneAccord.com?
It's at OneAccord.co.
Oh, okay. We'll put that link in the show notes, and we can get right to you.
All right.
Right on, sir.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Bravo.
Take care. Bravo.
Studio Lounge interviews at Emerge, brought to you by Eltropy. A quick word from our sponsor, Community Financial's present CEO Tansley Stern's new podcast, Despite Impossible.